color red in a world full of black and white.
Brace for the change, brace for the rage, brace for the wave.
I've been going through it.
Y'all know the pain, driving insane, deep in your veins.
Y'all know how I prove it.
Strut through the lanes, gripping the grain. Miles an hour, yeah, miles of fluid. Mask on, asking, why should I do it? Because no one is moving. I came from the swamp, the mud. Algorithm told me I was the plug. Feel for the fiend, you know what I mean. I've been through all of the lesson and hugs, and that is because I bet in all hope who enter here. So listen clear, I made your dreams. Fireflies don't disappear.
Everywhere. And then every once in a while, it would be.
What's up, everybody? We are back for a holiday edition of Fireflies Forever. We're so glad that you're joining us this evening, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch. Thank you so much for joining. With that in mind, I am going to go ahead and get this out of the way. Please drop a like on the video. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. We are so glad that you're here. Please hit that subscribe button and consider joining the family, because we are here every week for Fireflies Forever, which is our show dedicated to all things Wyatt Sicks, Bray Wyatt, and maybe we can just say, what can we say, Chris? All things
unique and different in wrestling. How about that?
There you go. I like that. Yeah, there we go.
Out of the ordinary wrestling stuff.
Yes. So, yeah, that's what we do on Tuesdays. Yeah, and I really enjoy breaking down the theories and everything and that we do on Tuesday. So let me not put this one on here, because that would not be correct.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put this schedule up here, because this is the correct one. Today's it. We'll be back on Sunday for Between the Ropes, but we won't be here for Thursday for TNA Impact. So we'll be back Sunday for Between the Ropes. So come join us 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. So as always, I am joined by my friend here, Chris, and we're going to take you through all the things weird and unique in wrestling today. How's it going this week, Chris?
Doing good. My Packers suffered a tough loss, but it still looks like we're going to make the playoffs. So anything can happen when you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, even though I'm sporting the sweatshirt, I can guarantee it's only because it's cold. It has nothing to do with my team advancing throughout the regular season any differently. Started out good, but has not ended so well. So Jesse,
up and down year for the Packers too.
Yeah. Jesse Callan is Jesse. Hey,
long time no see.
Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you in here. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. As we always do, we have memories that we share every week. So I'm going to have Chris set that up, and then we'll talk through it.
Yeah. So something that Jodie loved, and I know she used to share a lot on this show, was the escapades of our fiend on the scene, and he has returned this year and been up to mischief as always. And thought I'd show this one from the other night. What he did, he took one of the kids' gingerbread houses and took a hammer to it, that destroyed it. So yeah, he's been a little naughty lately.
Man, yeah, it's so fun though.
Yeah, he's been up to all kinds of hijinks.
Yeah, it's so fun to see what the elves do and where they end up, and precarious and funny and ridiculous situations.
Oh yeah, he took a bunch of flour out the other day and was making himself a fiend angel in it.
Oh man, hey, he's having fun.
Yeah, he sure is. Logan gets such a kick out of it too. When he wakes up in the morning, that's the first thing he wants to go do is see what the fiend did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this next thing here, this is what me and Logan decided was going to be our Christmas present to Jodie this year. So the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, every few years or so, they open it up to where you can buy these bricks and you can put, whatever you want on them. And then in the springtime, they're going to install them somewhere out at the track, and they let you know where they put it. And then when we go out there in May, we can go and see this brick, in the ground there honoring Jodie. So I thought that was a perfect thing for us to do for her for Christmas this year. So this is the brick that I bought and what it's going to say on it. And then when I go out there in May, I'll take some pictures of the actual brick in there and show it to you guys on the show.
That's amazing, man. Thank you for sharing this, Chris. And
yeah, it was a place that, as I've shared many times on here, that Jodie really loves. So I thought, what better way to honor her than to have a brick out there.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. That's amazing, man. Thank you so much for sharing that. And yeah, you're right. She if she wasn't talking wrestling, and please know, when the Panthers beat my Bucks on Sunday, I remember us having conversations about our two teams and how bad our division was.
Oh, me and my best friend have been talking about this. She would have loved. She'd been pretty uninterested the last few years because the Panthers have been pretty terrible. She would have loved it this year. Panthers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She would have talked so much trash to me.
Yeah.
This past week and this week because of, so I did think about her when the Panthers won. I was like, well, I can't be entirely mad. So yeah.
Yeah, they've been down for a while. They definitely deserve to have it.
They deserve it. Yeah, they deserve it. They've had some down years. I don't know that they've made the playoffs really since Cam left, and that's been a while. So yeah, they deserve to be in. And the cool thing about football and sports is that some years you're gonna have a great year and it's your year and everything just works out for you. And then you're gonna have years like the Bucks have had this year, where everyone gets hurt and you lose inexplicable games and all those things. So
yeah.
But come back for my TED Talk on Sunday about football and how
everyone around here has been that way too. And Ashley is a big Colts fan. And man, everybody was talking Colts to the Super Bowl, and now they're not even in the playoffs.
Yeah. And then, man, to go from where they were to getting a quarterback, I'm gonna say my age, around my age.
Yeah.
Whenever you're relying on someone my age or around there,
your team is probably in trouble.
To do any kind of athletic feat, I will tell you might be in a little bit of trouble. Although I will say,
he hasn't looked bad, but it's just it ain't all just him. They're had a lot of their other injuries and stuff too, and they've been playing some of the toughest teams lately too. So that.
And it also doesn't help that they're in a really tough division with the stinking Jaguars, which don't even get me started on it because their head coach should be the Bucs head coach. He was our offensive coordinator last year. All right, so we're going to get into some artwork, something that'll make me a little bit happier in our football season. And again, if you have any artwork, if you see any, please feel free to send it our way. You can DM it to Chris or DM it to the Insiders or email it to us. We would greatly appreciate it. I love getting emails, so please email it to us. So here's the first one. I really love this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that has that kind of comic book style. I would love to see something like that with a comic book series about the original Wyatt family, because there's just so much more they could tell with that. And, with two of them gone, their escapades could just live on that way.
Yeah. And again, this makes us clamor even more for a graphic novel. So there's that. This is awesome too.
Yeah, I thought this was really, really creepy and really interesting at the same time.
Yeah, it is very creepy. It feels very horror movie-esque. So does this.
Oh yeah, love this one. This is so cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's really cool. And then this next one I thought was really cool because you sent me a video that I want to share, but I'll go ahead and share it and then we'll talk about it on the other side of it. How's that? We can I think we can actually, it doesn't have any sound, so we can talk.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So someone was at a live event and took this, when before the Wyatt Sicks came out for their entrance, they have the lantern and the chair there. So they took this picture and then put this animation to it. I thought that was just so cool what they did with it. It's amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing. I'm going to play it again. That's tremendous, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is awesome stuff. So thank you all for the artwork. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Chris, for sending those over to me. Thank you for sending me that video because I hadn't seen that. So
yeah, I hadn't either. I thought that was one of the coolest things I've seen somebody do art-wise.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's get into some topics and reactions. And the first thing that I want to get into, Chris, was this wild act of helping from the righteous, we'll call it, on Thursday during the Team TNA versus Team NXT steel cage match. Hello, Bonkers. Hello, everyone. I'm going to run through after we talk about this and welcome in everyone. I know that's backwards, but it's fine. So, but yeah, what did you think about the righteous saying they were helping Matt Hardy and then taking him to this weird space that they had him in?
Oh, I thought it was so cool when their music hit. I popped hard.
Yeah,
they were coming out because I kind of thought that might happen because the way that the previous week they said that made it a big point to say we'll be watching. So I kind of had a feeling they might show up and do something during that cage match, and so yeah, I was happy that they did, and yeah, I love this because it's so intriguing because I was like, what are they doing? What are they doing? Are they going to help him? Are they going to hurt him? I don't know. Like, where are we going with this? Like, oh, I'm so invested in this story to see what they're doing with this.
Yeah, and I thought, I mean, you can't help but feel like, man, this is really inspired by Bray.
Oh yeah,
but my goodness, did it ever feel inspired by Bray? It was just so.
Yeah, it reminded me of the times when we saw similar things like this when Bray kidnapped Randy Orton backstage, or the Miz, or things like that. Yeah, it very much reminded me of that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So good stuff. Good stuff from TNA. Speaking of other good stuff here, we're getting more and more behind the scenes stuff about Bray and the Firefly Funhouse and the Firefly Funhouse match. So there was an article this past week. And Chris, I know you sent this over, so I know you said you had a part that you really wanted to focus in on.
Yep. Yeah, so basically talking about how they admitted that there was all kinds of hiccups along the way and things that happened with the Fiend that they didn't really want to intend. It got away from what their original vision was, but they said this match was the one time where they really got to do everything that they wanted to do exactly the way they intended. And I thought that was so cool that, no wonder we loved it so much, because this is the vision they really had for the Fiend and the Firefly Funhouse. They actually got to really carry it out with this match and do things they wanted to do.
Yeah,
and,
I thought that was really cool.
Even mentioned a little bit how Vince McMahon kind of got in the way of what they want to do and he pushed the character away from its original psychological roots and into the supernatural. The Fiend was never meant to be an uncontrollable monster, but rather a dark persona that Bray Wyatt himself portrayed. I love that. I think that's so cool. And man, how much better would that have worked out if they would have gone that route of that, the Fiend can still lose, but he can constantly be messing with people psychologically, getting their heads and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's what they're I feel like now with the Wyatt Sicks, it's a bit of a course correction. After reading this article.
Oh yeah, definitely. I see why they're not pushing so much into the supernatural and keeping it more psychological. And I agree. Yeah, after reading this, that I think that would have worked out better. I mean, how much better could some of the matches and booking been if they would have went more that route instead of that route of the Fiend being unstoppable and then back themselves into a corner,
Right.
like they did with the Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I thought this was interesting too. This last little bit here, the Cena match then was more than just a WrestleMania moment. It was the clearest expression of what the Fiend and the Funhouse were always supposed to be before they were, as Manfred put it. So
yeah, it's so cool to see what their vision, what Bray's vision really was for the Fiend. We actually did get to see it a little bit with this match, and that's why this will forever live on as one of my absolute favorite matches that I've ever watched.
Yeah,
because of that.
Yeah, speaking of unique moments in wrestling, it was very unique, but it was so well done. And to hear some of the behind the scenes of it is great.
Yeah, and just to show like what Bray could do when he was given, full control and to do things his way.
Absolutely right. So then you have this video, this short from Triple H speaking on Bray. So I have you set that up, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
Yeah, but I never heard this either. I found this really interesting. They're talking about when Bray first was coming up and talking about how like creative and stuff wanted to have his entrance be. They wanted to do like something, with like lasers and all this kind of crazy stuff. And Triple H and Bray talked, and they were like, "No, that doesn't work for this. That doesn't fit this character." So it's cool to see he talks about how they ended up going the direction they did with his entrance.
Yeah. So here's Triple H discussing that, and we will discuss it on the other side.
There's a moment in time where they were looking for him to, we're going to have lasers and we're going to have all this stuff. He and I talked about it. It's like, does this feel right to you? He's like, no, it doesn't. And I went back and talked to our guys and was like, look, this is the exact opposite. This guy's he's a cult leader from the swamps. Yeah. Like, he shouldn't have, as a backwoods guy, he should, what would scare me is him coming through the woods at night, carrying this lantern, and I can barely see his face and make out who he is. And that's how the concept came to be. Bray was like, I love that. And then we started riffing on it and how we could do it. If I can still picture him with Harper and Rowan behind him, with us trying to move the lantern to where we could see his face and see them slightly enough to get them, but not see too much. And him being like, this thing's too fucking heavy. I can't hold my arm up this long. You know what I mean? And just all the bits and pieces that go into the creation of these, for me, make them even more special. But
that was awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool to hear the story. I mean, that's, definitely mine. I'm sure a lot of us, one of our favorite entrances ever in wrestling. Bray's original entrance. It was just so creepy and dark and stuff. To hear that, how that came about, and it almost wasn't that. Almost was something completely different. So
it was almost something completely opposite of what he wanted to do. So thank goodness that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
So obviously we've got a good bit to talk about when it comes to what we've seen recently in recent weeks, and we'll start here. I guess my question, just to start out the first part here, what did you think of the match happening Friday, and what did you expect before we got anything? What were your expectations heading into it?
I figured we would get a straight up match, and we did, and we talked about we were a little wrong on who the members would be, MFTs. I thought it'd be Tamatonga and Tongaloa, but it was Tamatonga and JC Mateo. And I went into this fully expecting them to probably drop the belts, so I was kind of happy to see that didn't happen. I think that what they did was a good way to do it, of not having a finish. It builds this feud more. And I also love the promo. We got promos from each side before this match even happened too. I thought that was really good. Uncle Howdy's promo was awesome. And then Solo just does not learn now he stole something else from Bray, saying he's got the whole world in his hands, and started singing that. It's like, oh man, you're just keep cashing checks, bud.
Yeah, and he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand.
Yeah.
So he's just making way too many waves right now, and yeah. So let's talk about the fact that we got a no contest. You talked about how that kind of helps build the feud, but also you don't hurt either of the groups right now. So let's talk about things kind of breaking down, and then we'll go back to the picture that I just had up there on the screen where Howdy got his hands on Solo. So what did you think of the absolute chaos that we got between these groups?
Oh, I thought it was awesome. Loved how they went off the air, with everybody still brawling. That was really cool. That just reminds me a lot of, that's a real old school Raw thing that I don't feel like they do much anymore. Go off the air with people still fighting and everything. So yeah, I thought that was cool. Just it really shows the contempt for these two, these two groups have for each other. I thought that was great, and especially, it's very well warranted given the things that Solo's been saying, talking about Bray and stuff. So yeah, I love to see that, them going after him like this and just having an absolute war. That's what this is. It's an absolute war.
Yeah, I mean, you brought up this that felt old school. This in some ways feels old school, the entire program. Is she saying the crowd was chanting, let them fight?
Oh,
yeah. So, I mean, it really does feel like a throwback. So my question is, what should the next escalation be in this feud? Because obviously a straight up match is just not going to cut it. So my question is, do you think the next escalation is they immediately follow this up with another tag match? Do you think we get some other things and keep the tag match for later down the road? How do you think this thing will play out?
I don't know. It's tough to say. I mean, it's purely a guess at this point. I could see, I could see them going different ways. I could see them maybe trying to have another tag match, and maybe the same thing ends up happening again, and then that pushes to like a multi-man match or something. Or maybe they do just go right to a multi-man match now. I could see it being like a cage match, something like that. Definitely is a possibility. Yeah, there's quite a few different directions I feel like they could go with this. Yeah.
And with the way the match ended, it also opens up possibilities. I think I like that. I mean, typically when you get DQs or no contest, sometimes it feels like a bit of a cop-out, I would say. But in certain cases, it works. And I think in this particular matter, it works well.
I fully agree. A lot of times I don't like it when they have a blatant disqualification finish. But in certain scenarios, it can work. And yeah, I feel like this was a good one for him because I don't think, and maybe that was, especially with what they may possibly have planned for this, it might have been too soon for them to drop the belts there or have either side take a loss. So that was a good way to go about it because I feel like they can really build this up going into the new year. And especially, I don't know what we'll get next week with it being, another pre-tape thing. It might not be much on there. So
yeah,
they might be waiting until after the first of the year till we get back to live episodes to really push this thing and do something else. So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens next.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let me shout out, folks. I said I was going to do this earlier. Clown, James Chadwick, Dylan McClure, Jesse Callan, Ishii, Brandon, Bonkers, Clown, KJ Carter. Let's see here. Yeah. James giving us a joke. What are L's favorite music? Rap music. That's a good one, James.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a good one. So we got to go back here because you brought up Solo just continuing to write checks that are at some point going to have to be collected upon.
Yeah, I'm wondering when he's going to learn, because he's taken a couple of Sister Abigail's now, but he still keeps running his mouth. So,
yeah. So, hey, Deanna. So here's my question for you. What did you think of Howdy getting his hands on Solo again? And since you brought it up, what is it going to take for this dude to get it? What is it going to take for him to get the point?
I don't know. Solo's pretty strong-willed, as we know a lot of people in the bloodline are. So I don't know. Maybe if we do get some kind of a no DQ multi-man match and them losing, maybe that would shut him up. But even then, I don't know. Maybe that wouldn't. It might take multiple times of them losing for him to shut up and go away. But if they do get a win and take the belts or get some kind of other one against them, that's only going to further it. So this could be a long feud, which I feel like we had been talking about for a while that they needed something to really build them back up and put them back. I mean, look, they were in the main event spot on SmackDown. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So and now we're going, beginning of the year, we're going back to 3 hours. So that's going to open up more time for feuds like this to really flourish. So I love what they're doing with it right now.
Yeah, I think it was good to see them get more time on Friday, for one. Two, I think this feud, and I could be wrong, but I think this feud has the potential to be stretched out all the way to WrestleMania.
I think it could, especially with having back and forth promos and vignettes between them on some weeks, things like that. Yeah, I think they could, or having sprinkle in some, if they are able to do some singles matches or something along the way between different members. Yeah, I think that they could do it all the way till then, and have some kind of a really big match at WrestleMania.
I could see them doing some type of hardcore match or something at Mania for the tag titles.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the end of the book for that one. I think.
What if have they ever done anything to where it could still be like a 4-on-4 match or something, but still have the tag titles on the line? Have they ever done anything like that before?
Not that I'm aware of, but I'm sure it could happen. Here's another place that it could happen that I just thought about. Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
And I know this would take a little bit of reconfiguring, but if they somehow put multiple members in a pod, or had more pods or something, or had more shark cages or something, maybe they could do that. But Clown is saying tribal warfare for the titles. I think that's also a good call.
I definitely see some kind of a no DQ match happening between both these teams at some point.
Yeah, definitely a stip that is no DQ in some way, shape, or form. A match that.
How about what did you think of Rowan tossing Nikki over the ropes into everybody too? How cool is that?
That was awesome.
She was like, come on. He wasn't sure about it. And she's like, come on, do it.
Yeah. My thing is this. If they're not going to put her in singles competition, let's see her in action some way.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like at the very least that she's been able to get involved a little bit and get physical.
Yeah.
During this. I would much rather see her in a match. But
absolutely.
That's the one thing I just keep wondering, where are we going with this when it comes to her? Because the sides aren't even. It's like, I keep wondering if something's going to happen there that we're just not seeing yet.
Yeah, and we don't want her to get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah,
we don't want her to get lost in the shuffle. That's the main thing. Is she saying the end game to this feud will be Howdy beating Solo?
And I think that would be really cool if they do go that route. I think that's interesting, especially given the personal remarks that he's been making about Bray. Mm-hmm. I think that maybe that's what needs to happen eventually, is for Howdy to beat him one-on-one.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do think that will happen at some point. We'll get those two one-on-one. And we'll see whose faction is the biggest.
That could be really cool, for him to channel Bray in that way and get that big win over him, point up to him. Like, that would be such a cool moment if that happens.
Yeah, that could be really, really cool, really emotional too. If depending on, no matter what venue, what stage, is going to be a big moment, but especially if it's on a major PLE.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that would be tremendous, man. So, and then I wanted to bring it here, Chris. The Wyatts had a busy couple days.
Yes, they sure did.
They ended up in AAA, and didn't fare so well, we'll say. But what did you think of this match, and what did you think of them in AAA?
I've been loving them showing up in AAA. I think it's really cool because, as we've talked about before, I feel like they can be a little more free in what they do in AAA. There's not so much restrictions or anything on them, and the fans in AAA have received them really well and really been digging them. Even though they did get, I was surprised they did get booed a little bit in this match in favor of the Psycho Clowns. But I thought it was a really awesome match. I wasn't sure what to expect going into this, and it was very entertaining, very unique, and that's what I loved. It was something different that you don't want to see. It started with them climbing into a bounce house to start this fight. So how can you go wrong with that?
Yeah, of all the things that you can think of seeing in a wrestling match, especially between these two groups, you don't expect to see a bounce house.
No, definitely.
In the last month, I can say I've seen two things I've never seen before. That's a wrestler getting dragged off by a horse and a bounce house.
Yeah.
Like those are very creative things.
And then also Gacy taking a kiss in the middle of that match.
Yeah. Yeah, that too. That too. I didn't expect that either. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I want to go back and watch that match again because that was a wild, wacky match, and I love stuff like that. Like I said, I love, like we said with what we talked about on the show, I love different, unique stuff in wrestling. Like, that's so cool to me, and this was great. It was, and I wasn't even mad that they lost because the match was cool and stuff. And like Ishii said, I don't think this feud's over yet. I'm sure they're gonna want to come back for maybe even those tag belts or something. But yeah, I'm sure they're gonna come back for revenge against Psycho Circus.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Clown, yes, you are correct. It's a part of the party atmosphere. I just never thought I'd see the Wyatt Sicks in a match.
Yeah.
Where there would be a bounce house involved.
I thought that was cool what they set up backstage, like a little. They called it a Carnival of Carnage. And they had like a little mini carnival back there. One of them got thrown through one of those booths, and it was great.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun, very entertaining. That's the kind of stuff that it makes wrestling fun. Sometimes you need a break from the technical matches. You need a break from the big feuds, and you just need to have entertainment and have fun. And this was that. So definitely want to throw that out there. That this was
I look forward to seeing more of them in AAA. If they can keep doing cool, fun stuff like that, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
I was definitely surprised, though, that we didn't see the MFTs show up like I thought we were going to in that match.
Same here. I definitely thought they'd show up. They did not, which, again, very, very surprising. But I do think if this continues, in which, Ishii, and I know you feel the same, I do too. If this continues like we think, at some point, I feel like the MFTs get involved.
Mm-hmm.
And then we might just get every single group in a match against each other, which would be
it could be a triple threat between all of that. Would be really cool. I hadn't even thought about that until just now. Yeah, I love that they're having, these two different feuds going on, because that just means that we're getting to see them even more.
Right.
More TV time for the Wyatt Sicks is a good thing, in my opinion.
Right. So the last question I have, and Chris, I didn't even put this down because I just kind of thought about it here on the spot. But with going back to Nikki, let's say, let me just ask you this. Obviously, you want to see her in a match.
Mm-hmm.
You want to see her wrestle. Do you think WWE maybe needs to look at her having her own feud outside of the group and kind of jump back in when needed? Or what would you like to see in terms of having them get her more involved?
I think that would be really cool. And we started to see a little tease of it. It looked like she was kind of stalking Julia in the U.S. women's title, and then they just didn't do anything with it. So I think that would be totally fine if she's kind of got off doing her own thing like that, going after different women and stuff, or winning a women's U.S. title or IC title or something like that. I think that would be really cool for her to do. And something else I think it'd be cool too if they did, even in the midst of these feuds or something, is, have her show up, backstage. The MFTs are backstage getting ready for a match, and see her in the background behind them or something, like playing mind games with people, creeping them out and stuff like that. I'd love to see them do more of that kind of stuff with her, because even that is getting her more involved in a bigger way. Of people, playing mind games backstage and stuff like that. I would definitely want to see her get more involved in any kind of capacity.
Yeah. So Sunday night we were on, and we had a very interesting conversation regarding the Wyatt Sicks, and C Wrestling was actually had popped into the chat, and we were talking about just what WWE's doing with them. Is it enough? That kind of thing. So my question is this: once they lose the tag titles, do you think at that point you would like to see them maybe go somewhere else for a little bit, even if it is AAA, or if they have a little stint in TNA for a little bit, or maybe switching shows, going back to Raw? Do you think something like that might add even more of a spark for this group going forward?
I can see it being cool. I would like to see them have the finality with the MFTs before they do that, whatever that may be. I think once they wrap up that feud, that would be really cool to have them go somewhere else. Obviously, I'd love to see them show up in TNA or Raw, or even NXT or something like that. There's potential, elsewhere, as we've talked about many times. There's definitely some cool matches that could be had, and cool other wrestlers they could interact with and stuff. So yeah, there's definitely potential for that there.
So I had someone who reached out to me who doesn't watch a lot of wrestling, but he does love the Wyatt Sicks. He loved Bray Wyatt. And he asked me straight up, point blank, what if they did that, but sent people off to different places? So sending Gacy and Dexter Lumis to TNA to feud with the Righteous. Having Howdy stay put and maybe just have him play mind games with Solo or Randy Orton or someone like that. And then just having Rowan just kind of run roughshod over wherever he is, just be that big menacing force. And then he said with Nikki, do the same thing. Maybe have her go to Raw and insert herself into that women's division there, or just show up in different places. So I thought that was an interesting way to look at it because, again, you know, we're so used to seeing them, and I know we talked about having them kind of go in different places before, but I think doing it in a way where each person or a team kind of has their own thing. You know, there is a specific reason why they're going somewhere else, and maybe they all gather back together, you know, different times for promos, that kind of thing. You get to check in on. What do you think about that theory? And is that something that you'd like to see? And again, I want to hear from folks in the chat. Folks in the chat, I'm going to ask you the question this way. If you had to give WWE, and this is not the Wyatt Sicks, I'm saying WWE, because how they're booked isn't on them. If you had to give WWE a grade right now with how they've booked the Wyatt Sicks in 2025, what would that grade be? Please let me know.
I think that's a really cool idea, and it really calls back to the things that we heard about Bray's original vision for the Wyatt Sicks, that they would be, you know, a bunch of members out on different brands and stuff back when, you know, we thought that he wanted the Righteous to be part of that, Eric Young and stuff. They would have members on different shows and different brands and things like that. I think that's a cool idea. Yeah. Just to get that representation out there like that. And then, like you said, like they could still come back together and we could see them all in a promo or, you know, at one of the other ones' matches or something like that. They all come. But yeah, I think that'd be really cool to see them kind of branch out and go into different areas. It just means that much more things that they could get involved in and, you know, people they could interact with and stuff.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it does give that original intention that Bray had, but I think it also, I mean, it puts them in your face more. But, you know, I think, you know, obviously James says that was James's first grade. But he says, but injuries have gotten in the way.
Yeah.
Clown says incomplete would be my grade. And I think that's fair. I think a lot of people may land there. She's saying it's been all right because they were undefeated for a year. Jesse's saying it's been a bit challenging to me since they were out several times for injuries and family medical stuff. I agree. That's where I would be. If I were giving a grade right now, I'd be at an incomplete. I want to see how they land the plane with the MFT before I give a grade.
Yeah, I think they're definitely on the right track. I think ever since they've been back this time, with the exception of the few weeks that Howdy was with his dad, that they've really been trending in the right direction. And even in spite of that, they've been trending in the right direction, doing things a lot better. Definitely, you know, seeing a vast improvement in their booking and what, you know, the story they're telling and everything. And yeah, I think we're just getting started. I can't wait to, in a few months, be talking about this MFT feud and see where we are there to see if we think that they've still been continuing that trend of getting better with it.
Right. I know I'm going to be called a e-drone or whatever the insult is these days for people who seem to explain things for WWE. But I'll say this. I think, and this is no shade, no anything towards John Cena or any of that, but I think that creatively there was a lot of real estate put into John Cena's retirement tour.
Oh, hands down. Yeah.
As it should have been.
The main focus for WWE this entire year was Cena's final run. And of course, I get that, you know.
As it should be.
Someone like him wanting to do that for his last year and everything, of course, that, you know, things are going to be dedicated to that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and overall, I think that was pretty good. It had its ups and downs, I'm glad that that's over with now because, I think it's going to be good to focus back on some other things and stuff now that that's out of the way. So,
right. I do think that creatively, 2026 will be a better year for WWE because I feel like they won't. This is not very. I just feel like they were so focused on trying to do something edgy and cool with it.
Yeah.
That a lot of other storylines suffered because of it, and I do think that the Wyatts were one group or one storyline that suffered as a result of it. I don't think it's anybody's fault per se. I just think that there was a focus shifted and, as a result, taken away from some other talent.
I think given the focus and the magnitude of it, I mean, this being Cena's final year, they were under an immense microscope of everyone was just analyzing every little single detail of Cena's final run. And, I feel like they felt that pressure and there was no way they could live up to that pressure either.
Right.
They were always going to get criticized no matter what they did with Cena's final run. So, I'm sure that they are glad to have that pressure off their back now.
Yeah.
With regards to that.
Chris, they could have had John Cena wrestle Peacemaker, and folks still would have been pissed off about something.
Oh yeah.
About, I mean, they could have done something crazy, and they, it still would have been.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't do this, and I think, unfortunately, that's where we are as a society these days, and especially with entertainment, is that some things just, they're like, oh yeah, that was really great, and then other things, even though they give you what you ask for or what most people ask for, you're still gonna have that group of people.
Somehow, I feel like in today's society, the small amount of people that dislike something have the loudest voices.
Yep. Yep.
Overall, I think his final year was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Was glad to watch it, and most of all, I like it because it's what Cena wanted. This is especially with regards to the last match. People have been complaining about it so much, and now hearing that interview that he did, that was exactly the way he wanted it to do. He got to go out the way that he wanted to. So, I mean, sure, you can have an opinion and dislike it if you want, but at the end of the day, don't you want him to do what he wanted to do and go out the way he wanted to? I sure do.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's what he wanted. And I was going to ask you if you had a chance to listen to that interview because, man, was it good.
Oh, yeah. I absolutely I already liked the finish. I was not one of the people complaining about it. It's what I expected to happen.
Yep.
And I liked it. And hearing the why behind it made me like it even more.
Yep.
That was so cool to hear that he was just the smile and everything, like he'd given everything he had. He'd said all his goodbyes. It was just it's time for him to go.
Yeah. And hearing how he went there in his mind to go to that place and what he equated it to. And I won't give it away for people who haven't listened, but it was really good. Really good interview if you get a chance. Clown with
hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hard to say it any better than that. I don't think it can be. No one wants people to be happy. If they are miserable, they want others to feel the same way. As the old adage goes, misery loves company.
Yeah.
And I just feel like with social media being the way that it is, and it's easier than ever to magnify your voice. Once it gets magnified, people feel like, okay, yeah, now I got a spotlight. Now I got to do something else. And
I feel like I've gotten pretty good at just tuning a lot of that crap out now. Like, I really enjoy what WWE's doing. So I don't care what anybody else thinks about it, whether they like it, they don't like it, whatever. I like it, so I'm going to continue to watch it.
Yeah. And we said this on Sunday. This was my number one favorite moment of the week from last week, but every single wrestling promotion that I watched last week knocked it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
So I do feel like 2026 might be a better year for wrestling, because I think in some ways 2025, it was a good year for wrestling, don't get me wrong, but there were some misses.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, I think 2026 is going to be a good year for everyone. I'm excited.
I'm so stoked about TNA right now. I already, as a fairly new TNA fan, only a little over or so into regularly watching it.
Mm-hmm.
It's come to something that I really loved, and it's just continued to grow, especially with the NXT partnership. That's taking it to another level, and now with the Righteous coming in and stuff, and now them having this TV deal. I am so excited for TNA in 2026.
Yeah, man, me too, because seeing more people come aboard and stay, like yourself, Chris, man, it makes me happy, because there were some lean years for TNA where people had given up. Yeah. I mean, there were some lean years where people had given up, and they said, I'm just not going to watch the product anymore because they just keep doing dumb stuff, or you will see someone here for 3 months and now they're gone. But yeah, I'm excited to see what this new TV deal means, and hopefully to bring it back to the Wyatt Sicks. I really do hope that we get some form of interaction between the Wyatt Sicks and the Righteous.
Oh yeah, I really hope so. I think that they the door is open, that they could do something, and even if it's something small, it would still be really cool, and it would be just such a good honor and nod to Bray too, because that's something he wanted.
Right. So Jimmy says, are we ever going to get Nikki Cross or Uncle Howdy involved in a one-on-one match? We talked about this earlier, but gosh, we hope so.
Yeah.
Gosh, we hope so. I mean, it's criminal how long Nikki has gone without having a singles match.
Yeah, that right there, that's my only real complaint right now with the Wyatt Sicks is that right there. And Rowan too, I would like to see that.
Right.
But yeah, I'm really hopeful that in 2026 that's something that's going to happen for all of them. I really hope that I feel like they've got the ship back on the right track now. So let's keep it moving forward, and let's branch out what they're doing a little bit. I feel like they've got it back under control. Hopefully no more injuries or any crazy things happen to derail it, but I feel I'm really, giving them some trust back that they're gonna steer the ship right now.
Yeah, I'm really, really hoping that 2026 we see Nikki in a singles match. We see Rowan. Obviously, he's the muscle of the group. But we want to see him be the enforcer and be involved.
We've seen him and Talatonga a couple times. We need to get that match at some point.
We need that hoss fight. We need that. So, Jimmy, we hope so. Obviously, we don't have the pencil, but man, we hope the people that do.
Triple H is taking a lot of crap, and I feel most of it is a little unfair. I still feel like overall, since he's taken over, I mean, of course, this hasn't been perfect. I don't expect it to be, but I still think overall it's been more good than it has been bad. Of course, there's been bad still, but I think he's doing a good job, and I like to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I think that's just going to continue to get better and better. I really do.
Yeah, I think too. What people don't realize is that while Triple H had a lot of experience doing what he's doing in NXT, it wasn't Raw or SmackDown. It wasn't those PLEs.
Yeah.
And
he's learning every day, and I feel like he's willing to learn and to do things differently and try different things and see what's working and what's not.
Right. And I would say the same thing for Tony Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Khan is brand new at this too.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the experience that Triple H has. So
Yeah.
again, I think sometimes when it comes to these wrestling companies and when people start like, oh, this is booked terribly. Well, let's see your track record of booking.
Yeah,
Well,
look how many years Vince had been doing it to get as good as he got at it. It takes time, for sure.
Right. It takes time. But it also, I think more so today than at any point in the history of wrestling, today's wrestling fan is so unique.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing about today's wrestling fan is that they're inundated with wrestling, whether it's WWE, AEW, TNA, New Japan, regardless of who it is.
Indie promotions.
Yeah, I mean, it's just in your face. I mean, you can find it everywhere. So I think understanding and adapting to today's fan is also something that these companies are working through in real time. So
yeah, it's not like where years ago most fans only watched one certain product, one certain brand. And I mean, that's all you could do. You know, back during Monday Night Wars, there was no DVR or anything. You had to pick a choice. You either had to watch Nitro or you had to watch Raw. You couldn't watch both. But it's not like that. A lot of wrestling fans now are watching multiple different products.
And shoot, just ask James Chadwick. You can watch a couple at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just, there's just so much wrestling. And Jimmy is bringing up MLW and JCW. That's exactly my point, is that there's so much wrestling right now. You have so many fans and so many different things that different people like. You can't cater to everyone. No, you can't make everyone happy. Right. So, you know, it's impossible to please everyone. And you're gonna have anywhere from 25 to 40% of your fans pissed off regardless of the decision that you make every single time, regardless. So, you know, so it's just one of those things where there's a lot out there, but I feel like these companies in 2026, and I'm saying all of them, will begin to figure it out a little bit more with understanding what the fans want. But my challenge to the fans is, don't be so fickle.
Yeah.
Like Daniel Bryan. I mean, he was spot on. Like, if you say you want something and the company gives it to you, don't then gripe and be like, oh, well, they didn't give it to me the way I wanted it.
Yeah.
They gave it to you. So don't be fickle.
That, and just try and show a little grace and understanding. Like, it's not going to be perfectly booked the way you want it all the time.
Nope. If you want it your way, go to Burger King and they make it your way. But these wrestling companies aren't Burger King. They're not going to give it to you. You can't have it your way with these companies. So, all right, Chris. Well, we're going to land this plane and head out for the holidays. But before we do, I just want to just share this real quick. Just want to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from us on the channel. Please know that we are grateful for every single one of you, and the fact that you come and join us and you chime in and you give us your thoughts and you feel comfortable enough to do that. We greatly appreciate you for that. And just know that you have a community that is here for you, that we all care, and it honestly feels like a family. I know a lot of people say that stuff, but it feels that way here. So
yeah, I love that we have a community where we you know, as much as possible, try to keep things positive, and you know, it's much appreciated in all the negative world out there.
yeah. I mean, it's man, it's tough. It's tough to stay positive, and it's not always the thing that gets attention. You know,
that's a lot of it too. Is negativity gets clicks, it gets money.
Exactly. And you know, we're a channel that we're not a huge channel by any stretch of the imagination. So, you know, when we do these streams and we see similar faces and the same faces, It just brings a level of comfort, I think, that that a lot of places can't have because they're larger.
Yeah.
So, I'm thankful for our community and thankful for everyone that, that supports us and chimes in. So,
did you get that graphic of the Funko Pops?
Oh, yeah, I did. And for some reason, it did not end up. So let me add that real quick.
I wanted to shout that out real quick in case anybody hadn't seen that.
Yeah, man, that was awesome. I do not know how that did not end up in there, but I apologize. I told you earlier, Chris, my brain was
Oh, it's all good.
fried.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that, James. It's officially Christmas Eve in the UK right now. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's Christmas Eve in the UK right now, so that is awesome. Let me put this here. I'm just gonna put it up on screen.
That's
here.
cool.
So there we go.
Yeah, so in case you guys didn't see, these got a couple new Funko Pops that they just went up for pre-order. I actually just pre-ordered these on Amazon myself the other day. So they got the Bray Wyatt one is actually, which I've never seen this in a Funko Pop before. It actually, the lantern lights up. It takes like 2 AAA batteries or something, and the lantern lights up in that one. And then the Howdy, they have the regular gray one is what you can order, but there's a 1 in 6 chance that you'll get the rare one there, which glows in the dark, the green one. But yeah, those are both out there for pre-order now.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
I saw that it lit up. I was like, oh man, I gotta have that one day.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those are both very cool. It's cool to see them still doing stuff like this for Bray too.
Yeah, it really is, man. So, yeah. But thank you for reminding me of that. Glad we could get that out there. So, Chris, man, it's been fun. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being my tag team partner on this.
Oh, yeah. Good year. Can't wait to do it again more in 2026.
That's right.
Thank you everybody that watches us regularly in the chat. Love you guys. Hope you all have a very Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Merry Christmas,
You too,
everyone.
Jeff.
Thank you, man. You too. You and the fam. Everyone. We hope you enjoyed your holidays. Obviously, I know some people don't celebrate Christmas, but there are plenty of other holidays. So during this time, if you spend it with family, friends, or whoever's close to you, we just hope that you have a good time and really take in those moments and appreciate them and be grateful for them. So again, thank you, Chris. Thank you, everyone in chat. We are off until Sunday, so come join us again on Sunday for Between the Ropes. And yeah, have a great holiday, and we will see you all hopefully on Sunday. But if not, hopefully we'll see you again next Tuesday for Fireflies Forever. Take care, everyone.
I am the color red in a world full of black and white.
Brace for the change, brace for the rage, brace for the wave. I've been going through it. Y'all know the pain, driving insane, deep in your veins. Y'all know how I prove it. Stood through the lanes, gripping the grain. Miles an hour, yeah, miles of fluid. Mask on, asking, why should I do it? Because no one is moving. I came from the swamp, the mud. Algorithm told me I was the plug. Feel for the fiend, you know what I mean. I've been through all of the lesson and hugs, and that is because I'm betting all hope will enter here. So listen clear, I made your dreams. Fireflies don't disappear.
Everywhere. And then every once in a while